Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time it might be for you, and welcome back to another new DayZ video. And by popular demand, believe it or not, despite me not having much of a history about building bases in DayZ, it's not my scene. We are going to show you the basics of how to put your first gate, door down, whatever you want to call it, if you want to make your first base. I'm not going to go into whether you should do bases or not, why it's good, why it's bad. I'm just basically going by the comments and the popular demand. We're going to show you how to make that base, that first gate. What you do with it afterwards is up to you. How many gates you make, where you build your base, how secure it is, what you fill it with, whether you're going to spend all day in there with your friends, touching tips. I'll leave that to you, but I'm going to show you the basics. I've logged in this morning to a first person only official server, and I won't bore you with the details, but it took me an hour and a half to find the base building stuff. If I were you and I were completely new, first of all, I would check out a video from Nitno, Nitno, or Wobo, Wobo. Search those up in YouTube. They're far more technical and proficient in base building than me, but we'll crack on. Maybe have a pen and paper and write down what you need, because it's easy to forget that one essential component, and it's very frustrating if you start to build the base and then you think, oh shit, I need pliers, for example. So I'm going to tell you, I'm going to run down through the inventory what you need, and then it's up to you. If you want to write them down and then tick them off as you're looting around, by all means do so. I've got a hammer, because you're going to need a hammer if you haven't got a hatchet. You'll need a hatchet to chop down trees, but it can also double up as a hammer. So technically you don't need both, as long as you've got, ideally, a sharpening stone to keep on top of your hatchet, your saw, etc. But you are going to need a hammer, and the hatchet doubles up as a hammer, basically. But if you've only got a badly damaged hatchet and it's going to be completely ruined after you chop down the trees, you're going to need a hammer to hammer in the nails, which you're going to need. You're going to need to put down a gate kit. For that, you're going to need rope and short sticks. We're going to grab them in a second. You need pliers and wire to make your gate. We've obviously discussed nails. You need a code lock to secure your gate. You need a saw to turn wood into planks, which we're going to do, hopefully without getting jumped by somebody. And you're going to need something to dig foundations. Now, I believe this is going to be embarrassing, and nobody will ever see this video if the farming hoe doesn't work. I know a pickaxe and a shovel works. I'm pretty sure the farming hoe will work to dig our foundations. And I'm pretty sure that's everything we're gonna need. We'll casually brush over the fact that I've picked up a DMR in the first hour and a half of my life. I was lucky, and I did find a convoy on the dirt road leading from Dolina up to Staroy Military, and then I found some shots of 308 in a toilet block in Dolina itself. So we've got a chambered DMR. We'll see if we can do anything with that if somebody interrupts us rudely while we're trying to lay this base down. Hopefully I haven't forgot anything, and we'll just crack straight on. Once we've got all our materials inside that log cabin, which I hope is not already a base, we can lock the outer door, and we should be a little bit safer, he says, to actually throw the gate up. Oh my god. We need a long stick. We don't need firewood. There you go. We're going to turn that long stick into a short stick. There's only 10 people on the server, but what's my luck that somebody rocks up now with an M4 or an AK and absolutely obliterates us. Alright, so this is where we're going to put our first gate, just because if I was keeping this as my permanent base, I'd want to block that off. We'd have a gate here, we'd have a gate here, so they've got to get at least through 2. I'd maybe put another one here. Do you know what I mean? But we're just going to throw it up here for now. So you've got to make your long stick into short sticks. It's been a while since I've done this, by the way, so hopefully I remember and get it right. Or like I say, nobody will be watching this, and I'd have been talking to myself for the last half an hour. See, you can rotate with your mouse wheel if you're on PC. fence kit or a flagpole kit. We're only doing the fence today. You can look into the flagpoles and what they do. We're not even going to discuss them. It's not something I've done. Right, so now you've got your fence kit. And you need to choose your placement, right? When you click left with your mouse, you'll get this design here. Look, whoop. And it'll show you where you can place it. Now, it's not letting me place it neatly across the door, which is annoying. I wish they would make it, this is just as another subject, but I wish they would make it so it's easier. On other servers, community servers, you can just put a small door kit down here from one side of the door frame to another. But in this scenario, you can only make the long fences. Look, I can't even get it now. There it is. Well, this is awkward. You can see how often I build bases. Never. Just it won't even let me place it down inside here. Let me just quickly try this build in a sec. See if this door's any better. There you go. So we're going to end up doing it here, right? But you've got to be careful. You need to be able to access your gate to be able to put your code lock in. So some people will close the door. They'll put a gate like out here. We're going to get shot doing this now. See, it's only when it's completely white and it says deploy that you're able to do it. And if you put it too far away, you're going to leave a gap so that people could just walk in around your gate. This is odd. Look at this. What is going on? Fantastic. I told you to go and watch somebody else's video. I wasn't lying, was I? Literally can't even place it. Wow, no wonder people don't do bases on official. Trash. Whoa. Champion of the base building. Ding, ding. Shut up. Chicken. Wow, I thought this was going to be much easier, fellas. What are we? 7 minutes in. We've already bigly failed. Look, I can't even place this down anywhere. Why you do this? This is trash. Why can't I make a door kit? Oh, I know what we'll do. I know what we'll do. I mean, you can figure this out yourself. Figure out why I can't place that down in front of the door that I wanted to. And let me know in the comments, because I don't really care. But if you're new to DayZ and you want to build a base in a house rather than a shed, which is what I'm going to try and do now, we're going to fall back to one of the... See that big wooden shed there? I believe it's going to be easier to place it down in there. But that's not my ideal location. I wanted to build it in that log cabin back there. So why am I unable to make a door kit? Why can I only make a fence kit? Unofficial answers on a postcard, and I'm guessing the answer is because base building is trash. Unofficial. There's your answer. But easier to block off this main door of this shed. All right, but you do your own research how you could build it on a smaller doorway. But we'll just do it on you for now, okay? So once you've laid down your foundation, you'll see you need 2 logs. So we're going to take our hatchet. We're going to smash this tree down. So you get the option for wooden log. Just hold left button. Wait for the you are dead screen. Timber. There she goes. 1 log. You drag it into your hands and you're going to walk really slowly. There we go. There we go. And the great thing is, you can't jump over fences while you're carrying it as well. So, you've got to drop it, you've got to jump the fence, and then you've got to look for it in the facility. There it is. Pick it back up, and then with it in your hands, You look down at your foundation, it says attach, see? Click left button on the mouse, 1 log done. Let's go and get the second one. There it is. Do the old shenanigans again. Wow, we've given our base some camouflage as well. Chopping down this tree. Totally planned, ladies and gentlemen, totally planned. Put the second one in, and then look what we get now. We get, when we take our hoe into our hands, or your shovel, or your pickaxe, you get the option to build base. So we hold down left on the mouse, or the whatever the equivalent is on console. That's completed. You don't need the hoe again. And now you get this. You get your fence kit back. Okay, so you could keep that in your base for another door. If you wanted to put another layer halfway through and keep all your good loot at the back, for example. And look, we've got an option now to put the nails in there and to put our wire in the slot there. But it's telling me I need 20 planks. So, yeah, this bit's going to be slightly annoying to get 20 planks, because I believe 1 wooden log will give you 4 planks. Okay, so we're going to need 5 when I was in school. There's 2. What you do, you grab your wooden log in your hand, and you combine your hacksaw. And it says craft wooden plank. You can stack them in groups of 10. So when you've done these 4, just grab the other wooden log. Combine it with your hacksaw. Keep an eye on your tools. Make sure they're not going to ruin, particularly if you've got a sharpening stone like I have. Because what you're going to want to do is take them 8 planks into your hand. Luckily, you can sprint with planks and jump fences. And what you want to do is just attach. Just drop them in. And I'm going to quickly fix up my hacksaw so it goes back to worn. And that'll be enough then to get the remaining 12 planks. So off we go, looking for 3 more wooden logs. And the great thing is we can't even carry them all at once. The 12 planks. So we find a big tree. So it says wooden log when you look at the tree with the hatchet in your hand. Our hatchet is fine, we don't need to use the sharpening stone on that. Tree's down. And we've got all 3 logs there, right? If you've got a big enough bag, you might be able to put the planks in your bag and make it much easier to transfer back to your foundations, okay? But we haven't. We haven't got a big enough bag. So we got to do this in 2 trips. And then, believe it or not, we're more than halfway done. Doesn't take long at all, once you've got all the materials and once you've done it a few times, to get this first gate up. It doesn't take long at all. Alright, so we can take 10 and then we're gonna have to come back for the other 2. And then we've got our 20 planks in the foundations, next to the logs, the nails, and the metal wire. Hopefully you've been writing this down if you're gonna go around searching for your loot. Chances are we're not going to be able to find them. Yeah, we are going to be able to find them. Beautiful scenes. So we should be able to put these final 2 planks in the foundations, and then when we hold the hatchet or hammer in our hands, okay, there you go. See, they're in there, 20 with the nails and the wire. Hold the hatchet in your hand, look at it, and look, it says build upper frame. You could either use the hatchet or the hammer. Keep holding it down, and your upper frame will appear like magic in front of you. Look at that. Then look down. It says build upper wooden wall. All right. Just hold that down. We should then get an option for lower wooden frame. See, that's now proper. Build lower frame. Now, once this is built, if we did have loot in here, someone would have to shoot through it to be able to get it, right? We're trapped at the moment. We're actually trapped. Build lower wooden wall. Once this is done, nobody's going to be able to shoot us for the rest of the video, which is great. Okay? Simple as that. We're left with 34 nails still, so you can work out yourself how many you need to do an upper and a lower wooden wall. You take the code lock in, first of all, you take the pliers in your hand. The wire is already there, and it says build gate. Okay, with the pliers in your hand. Once that's done, we're vulnerable again. Because now we can look at it and it says open. And we can open our gate, and then if you just look at this post here, see it says close. You can either look at the wall itself, or you can look at the corner. It's easier to do it from there most of the time. Take the code lock in your hand, and it'll ask you to set your number. Okay, so by clicking once on my left mouse, I'm going to move along. See on the bottom line, it's going. We're just going to make, and then if you hold the left button down, 1, 2, 3, 4, it changes it to number 5. I'm going to make it 5001. 50. Yeah, 5001 is my code. Now look on the bottom left, see? Then look at the fence and it says attach. Click, boom, code lock on. Can't open the gate without physically, and it's shuffled the numbers up, see? Now it's 2846. I'll have to go along using F on the keyboard and then hold in F to change every number back to 5001 before it'll open. It'll drop the code lock onto the floor. You pick it up. You're ready to go, right? So say I'm leaving my base now. I'm off on a mission. I open the door, right? I close it behind me. And then I would just attach the code lock. See? We've got the option to attach with the left button on my mouse. But we'll do it from the inside. So we can just recap. That's one gate. After the restart, that tree will magically reappear that we cut down, and all these bushes and leaves and twigs and whatever will disappear as well. So don't worry about this permanently being in your base, the tree that we cut down and it fell inside. But I hope you were paying attention. But I really want to know, because I'm baffled, how do people make bases inside the small buildings? Because I've only ever done it, I believe, on community servers. And on community servers, with this fence kit thing over here, you can make a smaller door kit, which is about half the size of that, the length. So it fits easily in the doorway of a small residential building. I wish they would change that on official, because it's much more convenient to do it on the community servers. But again, let me know in the comments if I was just being a razzmatazz and slightly regarded. But we got there in the end anyway. We just chose our nice, easy shed to throw down our first gate with our first code lock. We're now the official proud owner of a base in official DayZ. And in total, it's taken me less than 2 hours to find the materials and to actually construct the base itself. And remember, this is only nearly, not quite 19 minutes in this video. We were dicking about for about 3 minutes, trying to put the fence kit down onto a narrow doorway before I abandoned it and ended up doing it in the shed. But a fairly short video. It was by popular demand, believe it or not. I'm looking at you, that one person that asked for it. And I hope it just helps one person to be able to be the proud owner of a base in DayZ. You argue amongst yourselves whether it's worth doing it or not. But give that like button a little tickle if you don't mind, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out. Bye-bye.